Hello there and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our Fall of the Republic 1.3 playthrough as the CIS. In the last episode we left off with a double battle over Rathana. That makes me want to play Pokemon a little bit. But we are going to be taking Rathana itself once we have a few more of these structures, or a few more of these units ready. So we're going to let those build up a little bit. I don't know, yeah, we don't want to wait in orbit over Rathana, so I think I actually do need to just go for it. And I'll get a structure building there, because we need to get back to Rishi with this fleet sooner than later. Oh well, we'll have time to move these in, right? That'll be fine. Very self-conscious about that now. But we also will have
Beginning construction.
the time to build Deconeomoidea up a little bit more. I'm going to focus on it in space. I don't think we need another PopCap thing for that. And we do have our mercenary. We have Shahan a llama, which is not as cool as a real llama. Repairs vehicles. Worked well under Cad Bane. That might be a little hint as who might be a likely option for bounty hunters in the future. Like, Cad Bane and Aura Singh are probably the two biggest bounty hunter names in the period that we don't have yet. We're getting there with some of these units being built. There was something that I'd meant to talk about feature-wise in the last episode that I never really got to. I should probably move you into one of these fleets. And I'm going to move you over for that army once we've got it.
Complete.
But now we are going to invade Rathana. God, what was I going to talk about? Oh, structures. That's what it was. So the Republic got their new structures in 1.3, so the government structure, the barracks, light, heavy, and advanced vehicle factory. And the CIS obviously didn't. They still needed planning done for how their structures are going to be divided. So that discussion actually happened before 1.3's release. And I was expecting it to be a much bigger deal, but basically right after we started the discussion, Bob came up with a way to divide them, and then everyone was on board with it pretty much immediately. So now that we know what their structure division is going to be, we can design and build models for that. Because like if we done it based on just like the heavy, advanced, light, and barracks, then we're kind of locked into that when we want to have a different flavor per the factions, a different flavor of structure sets for the factions. And now we know what those will be, so we're safe to start actually making the assets for it. So now it's just a matter of if or when one of the artists decide that that's the thing they want to work on most. But I'm hoping that'll be a pretty high priority point 4 thing rather. Or I'm thinking it'll be a high priority point 3 thing. Point 4, not point 3. Like, I'm not sure how much Republic and CIS stuff will happen in point 4 overall. Like, there's a few ships that we showed off in the anniversary stream in EAWXCon 2023, the summer EAWXCon. But beyond those, who knows? Because the main focus of the release is going to be the huts. So we've got the we've got things like the Maelstrom, obviously, but then Procurator. But then beyond that, we'll see what we actually end up with. Okay, I need to bring some stuff in there. I think I underestimated how much they actually had in there. I didn't see the other UTAT and ATTE. Alright, get back here. We'll still be fine. I think, like, I really only lost a Magna out of that, and, like, a squad of tricky ones. But once we take down Rathana Heavy Engineering, we can turn her around and just come into the middle. So I just need to make sure that I'm not sending Sora into the bad place. Okay, you guys can flank and spank? I don't know. I don't like that, actually. I'm gonna workshop that a little bit more. Okay, Sora is still fine. But I'm gonna send these guys towards the base. So we're gonna bombing run that. And I think you guys can safely just chill by these structures. Oh, that's not good. Hellfires. Get them. You deploy. I didn't get the abandoned factory, which is unfortunate.
We've lost a build pad. We've secured a build pad.
Okay, let's get you guys out of there, and let's head down towards the base with the rest of the with the rest of the units. Because you guys should be able to take this out on your own, and I'll probably end up using the orbital bombardment on that ATTE. Because we're getting into the barracks. I'm kind of hoping in point 4 I'll be able to do a bit more on the art side. Like, I had so much map work to do in point 3 for like the galactic conquest maps, and then like the rest of the coding stuff for like the regime changes in TR, that I wasn't able to really do many textures, let alone models. Like, I did the Ebon Hawk recently. I finished that on stream, but beyond that, I haven't really had the... Like, I pay for Substance Painter every month. I pay like a $20+ subscription for Substance Painter, and I don't use it enough. I pay like $50 a month for mod-based subscriptions that I can't write off as a business expense because the mod is not my job.
System control achieved.
If I stream, if I stream using Substance Painter, that might count.
Building
This is not tax advice. Partial write-off, not full. If you work for the CRA, that is just speculative. That was not a tax plan.
Building started.
I'm basically doing exactly what they did here. I don't need you.
Construction complete.
I almost ended up working for the CRA instead of doing this. That would have been a much more boring life for me, I think. Okay, how many of you are real versus how many of you are static fleets? I'm not sure. But it is, it is Geonosis that we want to go for next. And you know what? I think it's time to spy on Mon Calamari. Lucia, you have a...
Building under construction.
Do I not have a... No, I don't have one of those.
Building canceled.
Argonar, you're getting the last one. That's a 6er. Okay.
Neat vehicle. I'm ready to go.
Construction
These three are
complete.
together. You can go with Dirge, I guess?
Moving out.
Research
And,
complete.
research the Bulwark 2. Following the successful
Research
deployment
complete.
of the Bulwark fleet at Foros and subsequent engagements with the Republic Victory fleet at the Battle of Anaxis, we've developed an upscaled version of the original Bulwark 1. There's been... Ignore that we have not had a Battle of Anaxis. That's irrelevant. Uh-oh. Alright, unfortunately there was a crash there as well, so I've redone the Rathana battle. It resulted in the loss of one or two of our Magna Octoptaras, so that's sad. But we do have we have the B2 RP Super Battle Droids, which are gonna be joining our attack force against Geonosis down here. So we're gonna get them in position before we actually attack. I'm gonna actually put the space stuff back here, and I think I've moved everything that I had in position back to where it was supposed to be. So we've got Newt Gunray is gonna go to Balmorra to finish off the structure building on that. You guys are getting put back together, and
Research
you are now in charge of that fleet. Okay, yeah. So this is basically where we were.
Complete.
And I'm gonna
Building
get that,
started.
which I want a defense platform. I'm gonna wait until this is done building, and we are going to get. Where's Balmorra Arms?
Constructing.
We're getting Balmorra Arms. So we go to Deconiumoidia,
Construction complete.
and did we lose something? Spirit of Santa. Oh, right, we never actually finished Spirit of Santa
Unit in production.
because of the sadness. So this force is gonna be
Construction
going
complete.
into Geonosis and Kashyyyk after that as well. Or not Kashyyyk, Camino, the other K Republic planet. But I'm gonna send Grievous up here because I want Malevolence before we actually attack anything. Which probably means I shouldn't have built Spirit of Santa there, but you know what? That's... You make mistakes sometimes. I think means I don't want to queue up anything else at the moment, but I should send you back here. This ground force is starting to take shape. You're still building an HMP. Because we might actually take Barlock as our next target. I know I wanted to go to Geonosis as our next target, but if we go to Barlock, then we can still go to Geonosis right after, and we'll give ourselves time for that. Oh, we do have, we have Duoningo stuck here, which I could upgrade Forost and break out from there, but I don't think we want to do that yet. What we do want to do is spy on Mon Calamari, because I don't have the spy for that anymore, and I don't know if it's just because I never finished it, never sent it in. I forget what happened exactly.
Mauler ready.
But we have Grievous. Do I get the discount on that? First off, we're
Beginning
doing that.
construction.
We're going back to Deconiumoidia with that.
Construction complete.
How are we actually stacking up on the military? They're still ahead of us by a significant amount. But a lot of that, again, is based on static fleets. I think. I'm not actually, now that I'm thinking about it, depending on how they detect the fleets, if it's stuff that's in the AI free store that the AI can use, then that would be a different answer. Like, that wouldn't be a static fleet. Do I actually need the shipyard for you? I'm just gonna move you over. Because queuing you up now versus later doesn't really matter that much. But we have Balmorra. So I'm going to get another
Researching.
one of you. Yeah, I need the shipyard. Like sometimes I forget how stuff works too. It's not. I can only retain so much information. So we want
Researching.
Malevolence and I guess I'll queue up the rest of the units over here.
Advancing.
Okay, we don't want double Lucre Hulks. Well, that's annoying. I think it just canceled both of those.
Moving out.
I'm not sure why. Like, that can
Construction
happen
complete.
sometimes, and I
Researching.
don't know if it's, like, the dummies getting removed, but...
Research complete.
There. Give me Grievous back, please. Thank you. Okay, and now we'll get Spirit of
Unit
Santa.
in production.
Vehicle.
Okay, Grievous. You're down here now.
Mission log updated.
Okay, Recon... Abrogado Ray and Charos. Who's that for? Oh, the Canada's completed. That's interesting. That was for the Trade Federation. What's the other mission we needed? Build 2 of those. We'll get some... Okay, these were both for... I guess technically the Trade Federation, but the reward pool was wrong for that one. Okay, 2 ion cannons. Where do we want the ion cannons? We've already got one on those. We've already got one here as well, I believe. Yeah, we already have an ion cannon on you. Oh, we have an ion cannon on you. Sullust, we have an ion cannon on. Praesetlin, we have an ion cannon on. Rhodia would be one.
Constructing.
And Rishi would be the other, I
Building
guess.
Under construction.
Or actually, Bothawi.
Building cancelled. Constructing.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay. So, Danon is about as built up as it needs to be.
Building
We'll get
under
a
construction.
Golan 1 as a secondary defense.
Beginning
Then we'll get
construction.
you built up after that. I'm going to leave
New
you
construction
there before I lose
options
more money on
available.
that. And I'm going to save, because then we're going to go for Barlock. So we got you at Ord Mantell.
Constructing.
That'll make it worth having a trade port there. Actually, no, because Argonar.
Building canceled.
Mandalore doesn't have one either. Okay, so Argonar,
Beginning
you get
construction.
one, and then Meridoon, you lose one, because we're going to put the other one on Mandalore. And actually,
Research
Porta 6
complete.
has one, so never mind on that. Because you get the trade port money based on how much, or how many of your planets are connected. So we want to get as high a number of those as possible. Let's go in for Barlock. And Mandalore, you can get one
Building
now.
started.
Deconia Moidia is getting built up. Okay, we want to actually go to Balmorra with that. We want to go to Balmorra and Karita. So once we have the bottom right taken, I might move the fleet that we've been using most actively down there into the core as a defense fleet and send another one
Choose your
down to the
reinforcements.
other side of the galaxy and defend on that. Okay. Blyskwica,
Tactics for future
Witcha,
computation.
Blyskwica? I don't know. Hydrodominatus, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Then we've got Omni-Consumer. We have Regular
New
Providence.
task assigned.
CIS Bias. Doctor's Discount Decoy. USS Savannah. Victoria. Victory over Yadu. Fire Ant. Witter Spence Sig class. No missile option, sad face. Crusader of Truth. That leaves Zellers still in the bay there, and a Saturn Come out. Alright, come on around. And then Bomber's in there. Like, there was a new comment on a video I put out a long time ago. I guess it was the 14th anniversary of the mod that I put it out, so 3 years ago now. Doing like a history of Thrawn's Revenge. And so there was a new comment on it, and I was kind of like skimming through the video part of it. And especially with like the releases coming out, there's always, with any release, there's a chunk of people who come in, sometimes it's the same people every release, saying like, I used to like this mod, now you've ruined it. And ultimately, like, we try not to do things that'll alienate people, but there's always going to be some people who are like, who will respond negatively to any change. And you're going to hear from those people over people who are like just baseline satisfied but not as engaged. Like, if you piss someone off, you're going to hear about it more. And a lot of changes end up being like one release removed from when they're going to be really well received. There's stuff like Legitimacy that becomes really popular right off the bat, but sometimes I'll go back and I'll look at the older releases, or I'll try the older releases, and even stuff that gets like negatively received in the moment, like going back to what it was before almost never feels right. So generally, I think it ends up meaning I'm fairly happy with the things we do. Like, nothing's ever perfect. There's always going to be some decisions that we go back on, and that happens sometimes. But I enjoy it, and that's kind of what matters. Because it's always kind of an idea floating in the back of my mind of like, okay, I should do a playthrough in an old version, or even just a stream in an old version. But then I try it, and it's like, oh no, I know why I changed this now. Or just like old jank that isn't it. Like, there's just less to do in a lot of cases as well, and that's a thing. But maybe if I get the right amount of versions together and do just like a one stream going through and looking at some of the different versions without it being like a I'm going to play everything kind of situation, because there's some factions that have changed quite a bit, some content that's changed quite a bit that might be worth looking at.
On my way.
Even if not as like a more than 20 minutes or so playing in it.
Advancing.
Okay, that didn't get removed,
Building started.
so that's good.
Moving out.
I'm just gonna ignore the planet until Spirit of Santa's done. It's
Building
been
started.
queued up like 3 times now. Alright, so we can take Barlock. We're gonna send you in. Person whose name I've already forgotten. Because we kind of, going back to what I was saying like 5 minutes ago, we kind of want to loop around, take out the Outer Rim in the south after this.
Reporting.
You are Lebansad.
Moving out.
Choose your reinforcements.
We don't need you.
Reinforcements canceled.
We need you.
Careful.
Setting course.
Awaiting orders.
Something is wrong there.
Advancing. Ready.
Scan aborted. Abandoning conflict.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if your company text or your text is right.
Roger. Reporting in.
Let's get
We've
Dirge,
secured a landing zone.
and I'll send him down the other way.
Roger that.
Okay, well, you
Squad,
guys have
move
just
out.
gotta get in through there.
Vehicle scan. Careful.
Visual scan confirmation.
We'll need a replacement.
This can be a tricky corner because of the whole Empire at War will never adjust properly for terrain
Right away,
situation.
Located target.
You guys are gonna go down here. Dirge, you're gonna go This could be a terrible idea, but it's Dirge. So
Awaiting
I'm
orders.
just gonna let him do it.
Squad, advance.
Falling back.
Get
At maximum
you
capacity.
guys. I should send these two over to help against the planetary shield. And then Levansat, I assume is your actual name, not the other one. And that the text just wasn't done or something. I don't think you were the other guy. Okay, yeah, Dirge is gonna die here. But that's what he's for. He's for respawning. Alright, now get back here. Respawn mechanics are there to use.
At maximum unit capacity.
Unless I get really lucky and or really unlucky and he doesn't come back. But I think he has a 95% chance on the second death. First death is guaranteed. First one's free. And then I think it reduces by 5% his chance to return with every subsequent death.
At maximum unit capacity.
Visual scan confirmation. Visual scan confirmation. Evacuating area.
Order acknowledged.
Checking range.
But as far as the improving stuff thing goes, one of the other things that I try to remember, and
Order, sir.
sometimes more successfully than others, but
Reporting.
is that
Target confirmed.
it's good to try things, and if things don't work, we're a live service game fundamentally. We just change it later,
Ready.
and like we don't have the same constrictions or responsibilities that a AAA game does. Like obviously, we ultimately want to make it as good as we can, but sometimes
Yes, sir. Move out.
the being absolutely sure that you're doing the right thing is you're never gonna be 100% sure with what
Roger.
you're doing.
Right away.
And it's easy, like,
Scan aborted.
we're a large team, we have a lot of disagreements, like a lot of different ideas on what's the best thing to do in different situations, and sometimes we'll argue over like kind of trivial shit.
Advance.
But
There they are. Form up.
sometimes it's just like
Heading out.
oh,
Awaiting
those are
orders.
neutral.
I copy.
Sometimes you have to just
Fall out, troops.
keep in mind that like if there's disagreement over something now and then you just try it, then it usually makes it easier to get onto the same page.
go.
Like
Field path.
it's something where if you're talking about
Keep
things
going.
in theory, it's really easy to talk past each other and
Way. Reporting.
have like either ultimately similar goals or
Blast incoming.
misunderstand how much people are emphasizing different elements of an idea.
Destroy.
So I often find it's easier to be working off of just like put in something,
Destroy.
and then if it's
All right, men. Load your weapon.
a bad idea, often people will come around to that and be less concerned that something really bad is happening. And if it makes it into one release in a subpar state, just fix it later. If it's done early enough in the development cycle, then you can
We've lost a field path.
Order, sir.
address it before anyone else even has to deal with it. Like I used to get very in my head about like, oh, this isn't right, this isn't good enough, this isn't like
Planetary
there's a bug
control
happening.
achieved.
It like if there was a crashing bug, especially, it's very different from the idea being different. But oh, Dirge is back. We've completed those. Oh no, we failed. What? We didn't really fail. Something's wrong there. But like if there was a crashing bug especially, or if there was something that I thought like, oh, this isn't right, it was very easy to just like spiral on that. And it's like we're making a free mod.
Recruiting soldiers.
They're stressing over it in that way is just unhealthy and often doesn't improve things. So I think I've gotten better with how I
Beginning construction.
think about it. it makes it a lot easier to have better mental health, because like having so many people engage with something that you're making, it's really easy to be like, oh my god, what if it sucks? But then just you try to step back a little bit, and I don't know why I'm rambling about this, but yeah, hopefully some of that made sense.
Research complete.
Okay. I mean, I didn't fail. But if they think I failed, then that's on them. As long as that wasn't one of those missions. I think that was just PDFs, so I don't mind as much. All right, we'll get the banking plan stimulus again. You are still building those. I guess I should maybe send you around.
Advancing.
Construction complete.
Like, Arcania would still open up another path. We really can't take any of these other planets without opening up another defensive path that we need. So I think this is the fleet that we're going to send to the south. I am going to remove you from here. And Spirit of Sana is going to be
Resistance is within expected
on
parameters.
that. I guess I can also send up these guys. So let's go that way.
Construction complete.
And hopefully that doesn't... I hope I don't regret that. But let's save there. And well, we didn't end up taking Geonosis like I was hoping. We are still right on the doorstep there. So I think we're going to leave it there for today's episode. Hope you are enjoying the series so far. I still haven't sent in my Mon Calamari scouts either, so none of the things that I said I'd do have been done, but we'll get there. So thanks again for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.